This video is recorded to help my students to understand the following two things. First, how to write child classes. Second, understand the concepts of polymorphism. In order to do so, we divide into three steps. Step 1, understand the parent class pet and its application. Second step, write child class, doggy class, and cat class. Third, write application by using the concept of polymorphism. So let us do the first, understand the parent class, pet class. If we open this pet class, the class similar to real life pet, and we assume the pet class, a pet has two attributes. One is the pet's name, another is the pet's age. So we have a constructor. First, I have a default constructor. The no argument. This default constructor actually call the constructor with two arguments. One argument is string, another argument is integer. So actually it's called this constructor. This constructor has two arguments. You give a name and age to construct a pet object. So this dot name equal name, this dot age equal age. Then for this constructor with no argument, just simply call the constructor with two arguments. So equivalence name is no name yet, age is 0. Then we have all those set methods and this get methods. Those are very simple. Set methods just set the pet's name as a given name, or set the pet's age as a given age. Get methods, you get a pet's name, just return the name. Get a pet's age, just return the age. Then we also write a toString method. Pay attention, toString method is inherited from the object class. However, we strongly recommend user programmer always rewrite toString method for their own user-defined classes. So here, this toString method will return a string representation of the pet, basically tell what is the pet's name and what is the pet's age. This is also very simple to implement. We first declare local variable string result equal name plus this name variable, then result plus equal new line age column, then age. Then we will simply return the result. There is a custom method called talk. This method is similar to the way that the pet talk. I should say pet. So this pet will talk just like I talk like print out this error message. Okay, this is a pet class, a very simple class, just used to demonstrate the concept. You also notice we already put very good documentation comments for this class, like here. And if you recall the previous video, we used /// to give the commands that could be put in the Java documentation, which is Java API. Now, let's say the application. Then we have application class. This application class, we simply have a main method inside. I created a pet object which gave his name is doggy and the age is 2. Then I simply print out this object, equivalent print out the string returned by toString method, and then invoke the method talk. Okay. Now, if you look at this UML diagram, you see the class application use the class pet. So if you want to compile, you only simply right click on the application yellow box, click on compile, then BlueJ will also compile the pet class. Now, if you want to run the program, remember the program entry point is the main method. So I invoke the main method, then it will simply print out this pet A, his toString method return a string value, print out that string, which print out this pet's name and age. Then invoke the talk. The pet talk say, I talk like ... Okay? Now, we finish the first task to understand the parent class pet and its application. Now, imagine the pet is too abstract, actually. So what kind of pet? Is a dog or a cat? So in this case, we write new class One class is doggy. Dog class. Okay. Another class is cat. Cat class. Now, before we go any further, to save time, I would not write down any commands here. I just simply delete all those commands, okay, to save time. And I delete all those not needed. And we know the dog will extend pet. So that's give dog as a child class of pet. If I compile it, no syntax error. If you look, there is error, this notation, which means dog class extends pet class. Or we say dog class is a child class of pet. Same thing we can do about the cat. So we will do the same thing. Delete everything. Then say cat also extends pet class. If I compile, no syntax error, then you will say this error here. Okay. Now let's implement the dog. Now we need to understand how to write child class. First of all, child class may have its own actual attributes. So, but for this example, we just say dog has no actual attributes. So we just give his own constructor. The child class must has its own constructor because constructor must have the same name as the class name. So you cannot inherit the constructor. So let's say public dog. Now, I just simply call the parent class his corresponding constructor. Then I can have public dog. This dog, you give two arguments. One is string name, one is integer age. Now, you also can simply just call parent class his corresponding constructor. Okay? Notice that dog class cannot directly access the private attributes name and age. But since dog extends pet, so dog is a pet. So dog also has a name and age, but he just cannot access it directly because it is belong to his parent class private attributes. How can it access? It can access it through the get method and the set method. Okay. Now, because he will inherit the get method and the set method. Now, he also will inherit the toString method and the talk method. However, as a pet, dog talk differently. So we will override the method from the parent class. So we will say public void talk. The dog talk first. We will call the soup.talk. Okay. Then basically is called the super class his talk method. Then he will implement more, give more information because the dog talk differently. So I will print out, for example, dog talk whoop, whoop, whoop. Okay. So just like this. Let us compile. No syntax error, right? Okay. So same thing as the cat. I will give cat his own constructor. The cat must has his own constructor. So I have public cat. So this I also just say soup, right? Then I also have public cat. If I give a name and age, I just also simply call super constructor with name and age. Okay, this is initialize his name and age. Now, I also this cat class also inherit all this get methods, set methods, the toString method. Of course, the cat also talk differently. So for this talk method, I don't want to directly inherit it. I want to override it. So public void talk. So this is the way cat talk. Cat talk, he will first call super dot talk method. Then he will print out the way he talk. Cat talk meow, meow, meow. Okay. Okay, let's compile. Now we have parent class and the child class, they're all implemented. Now let's see the application. In the application, this time I try things differently. So look, if I do this, it will create a pet object. Now, if I want to create a dog object, I can still say A equal new dog, my doggy, and the age is 3. Now, pay attention here. A is a pet reference, but I use this pet reference to refer a dog object. This is okay because a dog is a pet, right? Now, then I will print out this A again. Then I will say A.talk. Now, what do you think? A is a pet object, reference. A is a pet reference. A pet itself has a talk method. Now, A actually refers to a dog object. The dog has its own talk method. Okay? Now, which talk method will be invoked? Here is the basic concept of polymorphism, or as misspell polymorphism. So the polymorphism says this. When the method is invoked, it doesn't matter A is a pet type or dog type. It just matter at that time A refer to what object. At this moment, A refer to a dog object, so the dog class, his talk method will be invoked. Okay? Now, if next time you change A to a cat object, so I do the same thing. A equal new cat, my cat, the age is 4. Then system dot out dot print out ln A, then A.talk. Now you see the talk method invoked 3 times with reference A. First time the reference A referred to a pet object, then the pet class talk method will be invoked. Second time A referred to a dog object, then the dog class talk method will be invoked. Third time the A referred to a cat object, then the cat class talk method will be invoked. Let us compile and test the program. Okay, here I have actual double quote mark, no syntax error. Then you notice here, this application use cat class, use dog class, and use pet class. Okay, so let me run. The main function is the entry point of the program. Now you notice, first time the A refer to a pet class, so it will invoke pet class. Or A refer to a pet object. I'm sorry. So it will invoke the pet class, his talk method. Second time, A refer to a dog object. So it invoke talk method will be the talk method from the dog class. Third time, A as a pet reference actually refer to a cat object. So when you call A.talk, it invoke the talk method from the cat class. This is the key concept of the polymorphism. Okay, so we actually says we can use parent class reference to refer the child class object. When a method is invoked, it has nothing to do with the reference type. It just has something to do with what object the reference is referred to. Okay? If you have any questions, send me an email. See you next time.